Hey there everyone, Mazrock here, and today we are going to be looking at the Maw and what you need to know and tips on how to survive it. So, let's get going. The Maw. The Maw is kind of the new daily, one of the new daily grinds that you absolutely should be doing to increase your Torghast runs, and there's going to be benefits to the Rune Carver and things like that. Once I unlock more of those, I'll discuss those a little bit further, but this is more of a Maw kind of guide and tutorial. So this can be compared to something like the Horrific Visions, and I like this version much better than the Horrific Visions, because the timer isn't a set timer like your sanity, which will just drain from doing things and from just time spent kind of mudding around. So it is a large open world which you can run around and do what you need to do, but how long you can do it is really, it really allows you to set your own pace. So the more activities you do, the more attention to the jailer you get. So there's different tiers and different things. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go through the tiers, what you need to worry about, how you need to circumvent them, and kind of things to look out for in the Maw. So the tiers that I find are most worrisome. Number one, the first one is the Bombardment. So if you're a turret class, or you're not really good at kind of just mudding about and moving around a lot, staying still can really hurt you once you hit the Bombardment tier. So be aware, because once this blue circle appears under your feet, you will be bombarded, which deals a large chunk of damage. I've seen it deal anywhere from 50 to 60% of my HP on a direct hit on my Warlock. So that is something to kind of watch out and worry for. And after it does hit you, you will notice that there's like 6 spikes that you have to click on to try and get rid of them. Those, and they will slow you down. Those also deal damage the longer that they're on. So one of those things to make sure. I noticed it was the biggest problem when I'm dealing with bigger bosses and things like that. That's been a source of frustration, but also a source of fun, because it's a lot better than the sanity drain mechanic, where you're kind of struggling through Horrific Visions. This is something that's easily dealt with, but will punish you if you don't pay attention. So it kind of keeps you on the seat of your pants, and it's actually not a bad mechanic. I kind of like it for something that's both punish and reward. The other thing to look out for once you get to a certain tier, I think it's tier 3, are the Assassins. The first tier is the Soul Seekers. They'll just attack you if they notice you. They're pretty easy to kill, don't worry about it. Tier 3 is the Assassins. Every once in a while, you're going to attack something, and Assassins are going to just come out of the shadows and join in on the attack. They are fairly easy to kill, but they should be dealt with priority, because they can hurt a lot. So if you attack something and the Assassins come out, focus your attack on the Assassins first, and then take out what you were doing, because the Assassins will hurt a lot if they're allowed to kind of run unchecked. I've only faced 1 or 2 at a time. It's been fairly easily manageable with some AoE and some priority targeting, so it's not a super big worry about. The one thing that then the last tier, well, not the last tier, because once you hit max, Jailer is out for you, you're dead. And they put a massive debuff on you and there's nothing to do. But the one to worry about is what I like to call the Yeet Boys. So what'll happen is certain of these diabolical angelic creatures or whatever will swoop in, take you, and start rising you up, and there's nothing you can do about it. So this is the tier that I am most concerned about when I'm paying attention to the Maw. When I'm doing my quests, when I'm doing my things, and just kind of general function, because once they take you, they're going to take you up high, then just let you drop. It's kind of funny if you pay attention to the Maw. If you pay attention to the players around you, you will occasionally just see somebody fall and splat. That's what happened. They hit that tier 4 of the Eye of the Jailer, and they were picked up, and they were dropped, rain and death. And what happens in the Maw, when you die, you lose a portion of your Stygia, which you have to then go back and collect at a reduced amount. I think you get like 80% back. It's 20% loss, so it's not exactly the funnest thing in the world, but it's not the most punishing. So when doing your questing in the Maw, be very aware of that. What I tend to do, and this has worked for me fairly well, and I've always stayed just below the Eat Boys, is instead of going around collecting as much Stygia from rares or the skulls that do appear on the minimap, I will make sure that the dailies there get done. That's the number one priority. Get the dailies done. They're going to give you the most amount of Stygia, while being able to stay alive longer and getting the least amount of tiers. Then once I've got the dailies done, then I'll focus on kind of getting the rares and just building up enough to get right under tier 4. Then I can call it kind of done for the day. Things are mostly all done. Life is good. Another thing that you should be looking out for is the Wrath of the Jailer event. Now, it is an event that spawns every 5-10 minutes. It's really not long. It'll appear somewhere on your map. It is a skull with spikes coming out of it. This has a chance to grant you an epic eye level 183 piece of gear. You can collect that gear. I think it's once a week, but I could be wrong. But from kind of what I've looked into, you can collect that gear once a week. If that changes, I will absolutely update this video and let you know. So if you're needing gear, that is a very good way to get it. I got a nice belt 183, which is really nice to have, especially in this kind of frantic gear upgrading time that we're going on, because of course we all started from scratch. Another thing to know with the Maw is you're not allowed to mount. You might have noticed that. You can't mount, although there are mounts in the Maw. If you look around, there's kind of like a bare bones skeletal, right? It's like a metallically armored bear without the bear in it. You can click on it, get it, and it will allow you to mount. I think it's for like, no, for my testing, I think it's from anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute. So if you need to get somewhere fast, that is the time to do it. If look around for those, I have seen them sparse about, and now that I've started looking for them, I notice them a lot more. So if you need to get around quick, get to an Wrath of the Jailer event, go and do it. So those are the basics of the Maw. There are also things that you can buy. So you can go talk to Venethir, I do believe his name is, and he will allow you to purchase upgrades. There's transportation upgrades, there's certain health stones. Yeah, Venari, sorry. There's also, so there is a thing that you can buy once you have a high enough reputation with him that will actually allow you to damage the Yeet Boys. So pay attention to that when it does come around. There's a cheat death if you need the help there. And there's a couple other things that you can buy that can actually help your time in the Maw. So and getting upgraded with Venari is going to end up helping your rune carving later. There's a lot of bonuses that you can do that you should be doing. Now, right now as well, in week 1, there is no Covenant quest in the Maw. So there was kind of a mistake going around that you would be able to reach renown 4 in the first week, because you get 1 just for joining your Covenant. They removed that Maw Covenant quest in week 1. In week 2, it is being added in, so then that way you can still get your 3 renown per week with your Covenant. So going into week 2, next Tuesday at reset, be aware there is going to be a certain Covenant quest. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I can cover that later. But that will, by doing your Maw dailies, you will get a Covenant renown once per week. So that is something to pay attention to. Aside from that, that's kind of the basics to the Maw. Really pay attention to the Eye of the Jailer and how high it is. If you kind of follow along what I said earlier, make sure you get your dailies done first for the most amount of Stygia, then kind of farm rares until you get right below that tier 4. And there is a very specific Hearthstone that you can get. You can buy it. It has 5 charges from Venari, and it'll bring you right back to him there. So that way you can kind of go out, explore, get everything done. Don't go back and turn in quests. Turn everything in at once, and then you're going to be right there, and you're going to be good to go. So that is the basics for surviving the Maw. I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at varying times. It is a set schedule, so come on, give me a follow there if you guys want to see some good old Warlock content. I am going to be starting to focus on the Death Knight soon, as my Warlock is getting geared. So I will be doing both Warlock DPS and tanking as time goes on. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern is our Rime of the Frost Maiden D&D campaign. It has been both silly and horrifying. Come on by and check it out. It has been a really, really good time. If you would like to purchase any masks, dice bags, or Christmas gift wrapping, reusable bags, check out my Etsy shop below. And if you need more DM resources, Patreon's down below as well. I am going to be doing more WoW videos as time goes on. I'm doing Torghast this afternoon as we speak, and we're going to go along from there. So aside from that, I hope you guys have yourself a good day, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying Shadowlands as much as I am.